These are the plaintiffs, Cedric Collins and Regina Sears. Cedric says his neighbor and landlord is a beekeeper, and he had a mishap where his bees escaped the hive and swarmed and attacked his poor dog. He rushed the dog to the vet, but it was too late. She was gone. The defendant's a real loser who's done nothing to compensate him for their loss. They're devastated by the whole thing, and the vision of the dog covered in thousands of bees still haunts them to this day. They're suing for $2,500 for the cost of the dog, vet bills, and pain and suffering. This is the defendant, Alex Cintron. He says he must have gotten a little too close to the beehive, and about 50,000 bees got out and went after the plaintiff's dog. He feels terrible about the dog's death and offered to pay half the vet bills, but the plaintiffs refused. Instead, they went on a rent strike, and because the plaintiffs owe him money, they're even. He's accused of stinging a neighbor and tenant.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Cedric Collins and Regina Sears? Yes. You are suing Alex Cintron, your neighbor and landlord, correct? For $2,500 that you say you are out in the cost of your dog, vet bills, pet supplies, and pain and suffering.
Yes, ma'am.
Because according to you, your dog died because of his negligence.
Yes.
Tell me what happened.
Well, apparently, it was a Sunday, typical, day. Watching basketball. Got a phone call from my cousin next door. Cedric, the bees are attacking your dog. The first thing I did was
Does your cousin live next door to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Still the same residence as the defendant. He called, and I told him. When he called, I dropped the phone. We went into the window.
Okay, hold on one second. You have a dog.
Yeah.
You had a dog, and the dog's name was?
Swiss Mocha.
Swiss Mocha. And what kind of dog was it?
It's a pit bull terrier.
Okay. And you kept the dog in the backyard?
She was in and out, but mainly in the backyard, yes.
Okay. And was the dog on a leash in the backyard?
Yes.
And the reason why is because you share that backyard with who?
Mr. Cintron on the other side, yes.
All right. There were bees back there?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Where'd the bees come from? Just the...
Mr.
The
Cintron.
defendant.
I'm sorry.
I need you in front of the microphone? Okay, that's fine.
Right, the defendant.
Okay, but bees, because they come from him because they're in his yard, or he actually raises bees? He actually has a beehive?
I'm pretty sure he's producing his own honey.
Okay, you know or you don't know?
We know.
We know. We have pictures. We know.
Okay, can I see the pictures? So what happened?
Well,
But you gotta
apparently,
get to the point.
I thought.
That's all right, let him get to the point in his own way. Get to
You
the
gotta
point.
get to the
Is this
point.
your wife?
Can I explain
She-
it?
No, let him. You don't think you could take it?
Okay, he can't.
All right.
Well,
Do you want to let her tell me, or you want to tell me?
I was there. I was there.
Okay.
Okay. Apparently, well, when I came to the window, I saw my dog covered in bees. Mr. Cintron was there. I do say, it's like he was trying to, get the leash off, but it's like he had problems getting the leash off of her, I guess to try to let her run. So I don't know if he really couldn't get it off or what. So the first thing I did was open the door. When I opened the door, he was like, get back, because no, bees were everywhere. So he said, I just, I came back in the house, and, I'm screaming out, like, what you want me?
Well, how come the bees weren't attacking him?
He had a bee gear suit on.
All right, go on.
Well, I tried, I asked, what should I do? He said, I need a lighter. I mean, you get a lighter. I threw him a lighter out. And I guess to keep the bees calm, you put the smoke, put smoke screen around them. So I guess he put it around it. He put a rug over her.
Meantime, the bees are stinging your dog.
Yeah, yes.
Lots of bees.
Yes, she was covered.
You took the dog to the vet.
Yes, I was on the phone. I called the vet immediately. It was a Sunday, so the vet was closed. So I got the emergency room number. I called the emergency room, got direction. They told me what to say. Bring in the emergency room immediately. I put pants on, boots, long sleeve. I wrapped a towel around my head, ran outside. I tried to reach for, I unsnapped her. He asked me, what are you doing? I said, I'm taking my dog to the emergency room. He's like, okay. So I told him, he said, well, listen, I got the suit on. He said, I'll put it in your car. He did do that. I ran to the car, opened the door, cranked the car up.
Were there bees in your car?
Yes.
Did the bees sting you?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so you bring the dog to the vet, and what happens?
I took the dog to the vet. I'm panicking. So I jump out. I'm like, they was like, hey, come here. So when I walked in, they already talked to me and gave me directions. They already knew I was coming. When I ran in, she was like, give me the dog. They rushed her to the back.
What happened with the dog?
She died.
How quickly did she die?
They did CPR on her. I mean...
Do you think she was dead when you brought her?
No. She was still like... she was breathing off and on.
What's going on? What happened?
In the backyard, my son cuts the yard, but keeps away about 10 feet from the beehive. I have 3 beehives in the back.
Why?
To get honey out of them and get
Can't just buy honey
experience.
at the store like the rest of us do? That's fine. Are they registered?
Huh?
You
No.
heard me. Are they registered?
No.
Oh, but you're supposed to register them, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. You know why you're supposed to register them?
Disease.
Yeah, or maybe just bee
foul
stings?
brood.
Yeah, and the idea
And-
behind
and,
registering them
African
is that
bees.
they have to give you a permit because they have to decide if the place where you have decided to have beehives is safe for everybody else who lives around you. You see? That's why the state of Florida permits this. You had no permit. You were wearing a bee suit. What if that, do you have kids? What if that was him? Never mind the kids. What if that was her? What would stop what he just described from happening to any human in your neighborhood?
It was a mistake that I did.
A mistake that you did? How long did you
not
have
that
bees?
They came out and all of a sudden, hey, I'm attacked the dog.
That's what
How long did you have beehives that you're not allowed to have?
About 6 months. I like bees.
Except for, it didn't occur to you that the state of Florida might regulate where you can put a beehive? That maybe there would be laws about who can have a beehive and how much property you would need in order to do it? You share the backyard with other people.
Yes.
You killed the dog.
I was mowing the lawn, and I got too close.
Yeah, but that's okay for you because you had a bee suit.
No, yeah.
So you were protected.
Yeah, because my son...
What should everybody else do in your neighborhood? Everybody needs to own a bee suit now to be protected against you mowing the lawn too close to your unregulated, unpermitted beehives?
No, I don't mow the lawn anymore.
Yeah, no, maybe what you need to not do is have beehives. Does he still have the beehives?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you kidding me? Did anybody call the authorities on him?
We didn't know what to do, so
Are
we
you
wanted to
kidding
come
me?
to
Call
you.
the police. The police would know what to do.
I told you.
You didn't call the police?
I told him to call the police.
How long have you two been together?
4 years.
Why don't you just call the police yourself, woman?
I listened because he's the breadwinner of the family.
So what? You got a tongue? I've seen it here.
Yeah.
Just call the police yourself.
Yes.
You know what the right thing to do is?
Yes.
For the love of all that's holy.
Yes.
So what happens? You had another dog too, right?
No.
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 Sorry.
No, not after.
Do you have kids?
Yes, I do.
How many kids do you
I
have?
have 4 children.
What age range?
17, 15, 7, and 9.
Were they there?
No.
No,
thank God.
unfortunately, thank God.
Are those your kids?
No, ma'am. My daughter was visiting from Atlanta, and her boyfriend, he got stung the worst.
I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you guys ever been stung by those bees?
I was talking to him. I the one alerted him that my dog was dead. I went and knocked on the door. He came out with the bee suit on. And as I'm talking to him, it stung me on my shoulder, it stung me in my head. He said, oh, they never did this before, and just walked away from me.
Oh, no, because they're very tame bees.
Exactly.
Oh, your poor dog.
Yeah, that's her.
That's a beautiful pit bull.
Thank you. She was 8 months old.
I'm not a big fan of pit bulls.
I know. I had her since she was 6 weeks. I raised her. That's the bees.
Did you know? You knew the guy kept bees back there, right?
No, we and the dog was there before the bees. She was there before the bees.
But once they start with this bee thing, like
I didn't know until he
oh my
came.
gosh, you brought me a picture of the deceased
Yes,
dog with
I
the bee
did,
bites?
Your Honor. I wanted everyone to see.
Honey, why did you do that to me?
I'm sorry. I am so sorry. But I just had to show you what we went through. And those are the marks.
Take this to the defendant.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So is it irresponsible for this guy got to breed bees in the property.
Yes. I think he needs to take responsibility if he knows those bees are there.
Well, should they have it at all in a residential neighborhood?
Yeah, as long as he's taking care of the bees properly.
Well, what does that mean? I mean, sit bee. I mean, what does that mean?
But he should be responsible for the bees.
I know, but what does that mean? Are you even allowed to have 50,000 bees that can do just anything?
Well, that depends on the ordinance for the city. Does the city permit it?
They shouldn't allow this. It's crazy in a residential neighborhood. Going inside the courtroom.
And you still haven't taken down the bees?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, well, you're gonna. You're gonna, because when I get off this bench, I'm alerting the authorities.
No, I'll take them down.
Yeah, I think you are. I think you are. I think you're also going to have what is potentially a misdemeanor charge against you, according to the law, and certainly a lot of fines, according to the law, because this isn't right. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to keep bees in a residential area like this, because something like this could happen. You could end up killing somebody's dog. Now, when you came to him and you told him that your dog was dead, what was his response?
He just said, I'm sorry, they never did that before, and walked away from me.
Did he ever offer to pay any of the vet bills or for the dog or anything else?
Well, that's when I
That's
spoke
when he
with
spoke.
him.
And what
I spoke with him the
exactly
same
did he
day.
offer?
He offered half of the emergency room bill.
That's it.
None of the dog bill.
Nothing else.
Okay, you're suing for $800, the amount owed for pit bull terrier. How do you come to that figure?
That's what we paid
That's
for.
the amount we paid for her.
Do you have the receipt?
Yes, ma'am.
You're suing for not just the vet bill from that day, but also other vet bills throughout her life
Yes.
that you paid,
Right.
because you feel like it's a waste.
Right. I didn't even have
You're
her that
suing for
long.
$500 in pet supplies and $700 for pain and suffering.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're not entitled to pain and suffering
Okay.
because this is not that even though I know that
Okay.
you suffered, it's just that this is not that kind of case that you're entitled to that on. And you're also not entitled to pet supplies or vet bills from prior events.
Okay.
You are absolutely entitled to the cost of the dog plus the vet bill from that day.
Okay.
What is your defense to paying for the dog you killed and the vet bills from that day?
I asked her to whatever she needed, I'll pay for it. And then all of a sudden I get this sue.
Did you ever offer to pay for the dog?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And why would you not have offered to pay for the dog when you killed the dog? You killed their dog.
After they left, they didn't even talk to me or anything. And
You ended up moving out, right?
You left yesterday.
You left yesterday.
Yes, ma'am.
And you moved out. Were you paid up for rent?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Paid
And
first and last when I first.
do you say otherwise, that they're not paid up for rent?
they were supposed to pay by the first of the last month.
But they paid last month's rent when they moved in?
Yes, ma'am. Can
They
I
paid,
explain that, ma'am?
This beginning now, they're through.
I'm sorry?
They leave the deposit.
Okay. Did they damage anything?
No.
Okay. So
No.
then there's no math for me to deduct that they owe you rent and that it's a setup. There's nothing like that because it's all paid
No.
up. The security deposit, you lived it out?
Right.
Yeah,
We
Okay,
lived
so
off
everybody's in agreement.
Right,
All right, so there should be no more litigation between you guys for
Right,
rent or security
exactly.
deposit or anything else.
No, exactly.
All right. I don't want you guys to have contact again. I'm trying to figure this out.
Right.
You got stung?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you
just
see
on
her
my
get-
shoulder, but I was just thinking about her. That's it. I was just thinking about her. That's all I was doing. Me, him, my daughter's boyfriend, or whatever. But they just really wanted to see justice for the dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little bit of justice too.
Thank you, Yana.
I'm in a justice kind of mood right now.
Thank you, Yana. I appreciate
So
it.
your pit bull, the cost of the pit bull is $800. The cost of the vet bills from that day are $243.55. That's $1,043.55. But I think that there's a certain pain and suffering in all that bee stinging.
Yes, ma'am. It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
It was a
I find in
nightmare.
favor, and you got stung in the car too, right?
I got stung in the car.
How many times you get stung?
My adrenaline was rushing, so I didn't
He
really.
even got the mark
got
left.
the marks, like a
He
one
still
mark.
got the mark left on his face.
Yep. I'm ruling in favor of the plaintiffs in the amount of $2,000. Pay the man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bees, big problem for you. Step right in here, and you heard the judge's ruling. What's your reaction to it?
Well, I think it was fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because,
Now, so she says you might be in for some fines and some problems now.
I don't know. I'll take him down and
You'll
see
take
what
him down?
happens.
Okay.
I didn't know.
Have you ever had a chance to like, look right at them and apologize for what happened? And
No, they didn't give me a chance.
You want to? They're right there.
I am sorry, man. I didn't mean it. It's not something that I intentionally did. You know, it's happened.
Okay.
I am sorry.
Thanks. Okay. All right, right there. All right, so step on out here. That doesn't bring a dog back or anything, but what did that mean to you when he said that?
It didn't mean a lot. We could have done that earlier. I mean, I tried to resolve all this before we even got to this point.
That moment when you saw
what
was that moment like right there? I mean, what could it?
I mean, it was rough. It was real tough.
It was very rough.
Okay.
Very. I cried for a whole week straight. And I mean, every time I walk outside and look at her cage is still out there. It's hard.
All right, Harvey.
Okay, little update here, Kurt. The defendant actually ended up getting rid of the beehive and taking it down, and the bees are gone.